Hey folks, this is your buddy Marshall, and I am in South Dakota in the Black Hills. I got here yesterday around 1, and all the footage, hang on. In other news, I'm having fun. The weather's nice so far. It was really windy getting up here yesterday, but I'm used to that. And we're in the Black Hills. I'm going to try to get you footage of Mount Rushmore, the Needles Highway, and Sturgis, and a lot of that will be in 360-degree interactive video, so there'll be links to that. In the meantime, here's the standard video, and enjoy the trip through the Black Hills, please. It's 5:30 in the morning on Sturgis trip day, and I'm still staring at the Honda Fury. I'm really wishing I could ride it to Sturgis, both for you, my viewers, and for myself. But there's a problem with taking the Fury, actually a few of them. First of all, there's nowhere to tie down my duffel bag and very slippery sleeping bag. I tried a test run yesterday, and the load was sliding around like playing Twister coated in baby oil. That actually sounds like fun. Straps under the seat would help, but bungee cords won't cut it, especially if they expand in the heat of the day. It needs a sissy bar, and Honda's little butt bumper isn't enough to strap anything to, so I didn't buy it. So I'm taking the family station wagon, sigh. The Goldwing I've named the Argo. I guess that makes me an Argonaut, although my name isn't Jason. This is the Goldwing fully packed for the trip. Can you tell? I even had room for my pillow in a side case. Talk about camping in luxury. Although it is not anywhere near as sexy as the Fury, it is many times more visible in the dark. I've had loud pipes on other bikes, and I'm telling you, visibility beats sound every time to a car driver. If I have the air and stereo on in my Challenger, I'm lucky to hear an ambulance coming up right behind me. Fortunately, my mirrors work fine. The Wing is also more powerful and more comfortable in nearly every way. My wife and I have done 9-hour rides on the Goldwing. Leaving the house at 6 a.m., I checked a few things at a stoplight. See that rear shock preload setting? That's where it should be for tight sport riding, but I figured I'd go for a cushy ride and see if it made any difference. Well, we'll come back to that in a bit. It's a beautiful morning, crispy, and the sun is rising. Oh wait, no it's not, it's setting. No, it's rising. No, it's not, it's not going anywhere. The sun and sky are orange because it seems half of the western United States and Canada are on fire. I hope I can ride out of the smoke at some point. Checking the temperature, it's 59 degrees. See that preload adjustment? I stopped to get a few photos, like this one. And then I set the preload to make it softer. Not that it needed it, I just thought, well, I have a long ride, let's see if I can make it cushier. Before the day is over, I would set it softer still. That will come back to bite me the next day. It really doesn't make the ride any softer anyway, just more bouncy. At this point, I'm on the open road in Wyoming, gliding happily along. Most of Wyoming 85 highway is just like this on weekday mornings. There isn't a whole lot to see, but occasionally you see some old farms like this. Here is where I turn off to head into South Dakota in Rapid City. I've already ridden past Hawk Springs, fueled up in Torrington, and past Lusk. This is called Mule Creek Junction. It's just a rest stop. But if I ever finish my second novel, Mule Creek Junction is in it. I've also written a song with that title, just because it sounds like it should be a cool place.
So here's how you know you're in South Dakota. Or Wyoming. In this case, it's South Dakota.
Rapid City is the largest city in the Black Hills area, and getting through it to my campground is today's goal. Fortunately, it's not as difficult to do as I recall from years past, especially since this is a Monday. I've always had hotels in years past, but this year I found a cheaper solution. Spur Meadows Campground, which is about 21 miles east of Sturgis. With even the distant hotels asking over $200 a night this year, a rustic, bare-bones, air-conditioned cabin here was $120 a night, and I was really ready for some air conditioning. Sorry for the camera angle, the camera slipped position and I can't see what it's recording while I'm writing. Now about this cabin. The cabin was so small, I had to step outside to change my mind. It was so small, the front door opened to be the back door. I'm telling you, it was so small I had to borrow some air from the cabin next door. Actually, it met the expectations I had seen on the website, and was amazingly quiet for being in a campground full of bikers. Actually, the whole campground was quiet. Spur Meadows may be off the beaten path, but it's really affordable and usable as far as campgrounds go. In the bathhouse, I turned around and ran into a Facebook friend of many years that I had never met before, but instantly recognized. Hey Jeff, nice finally meeting you, brother. Yes, we bikers are all brothers and sisters, which probably makes dating another biker a little awkward. So, I was only going to be in South Dakota for one full day, so the next day was a busy one. First, I rode straight away to Mount Rushmore to get y'all some 360-degree video before the tour buses arrived. I haven't figured out how to mix video formats yet, so check out my 360 posts to see those. They are short by design. Mount Rushmore doesn't charge a national park fee, so you can't use any park membership cards to get in. They charge a parking fee for $10 for motorcycles, thereby getting around any discounts I might have in my wallet. The more you know. Getting a perfectly blue sky above Mount Rushmore was a real blessing, considering all the wildfire smoke in the air in the western states. Next, I wanted to show you the Needles Highway. It really doesn't get too much twistier than this, and the scenery is amazing. Check out my 360-degree videos. Here's where I ran into trouble though. Just a few years back, my wife and I rode it in the rain, and I handled the sharp turns just fine. This time, the Goldwing handled horribly. Any effort to turn her into a curve was getting absorbed, and it took me until the next day to figure out it was pilot error. I had set the rear suspension so cushy, any energy to lean the bike was being absorbed. I almost came to a complete stop in one of the switchbacks to avoid crossing oncoming traffic. I was going to ride the needles 4 times to get video of every kind, but I gave it up after the second run, which was only in 360. And by then, the highway was fully crowded. All I have to show you of what it's like in normal video is this one from a few years ago. Check out my 360 videos to see if you can spot my errors. Next up was Custer State Park Wildlife Loop. I had hoped to get video of the bison right next to the bike, but they weren't too far off. They, however, weren't in the road. So allow me to show you the video my wife took on the last trip that we did together. The bison are just big shy cows if you don't break their everyday routines and expectations. They're very used to the motorcycles, used to cars, used to people taking pictures. But don't go up and try to hug one.
Whoa, they're running. That's just kind of scary. Stay here, yeah. Yikes. Give them an... Please don't get right at it.
After all that activity, having only had bottled coffee and some granola bars for breakfast, I spent an hour in Rapid City in some air-conditioned stores and restaurants, and then I headed to Sturgis. I arrived at Sturgis around 5:30 in the afternoon, and I stayed until about 8 something. There is some 360-degree video of that too, so see the links in the comments. How dare a Honda motorcycle ride into Sturgis? Sturgis belongs to Harley Davidson. Actually, the Sturgis Rally started as an Indian motorcycle hill race. But once Indian went out of business after World War II, the Harleys took over. It's actually a kinder, gentler place now than people might remember it from the 80s. And most bikers understand it's all the same wind we ride in, and no bike brands are turned away. Now, for those who know me, I'm not really a party person, and I'm a little awkward around crowds. I don't drink, but what I do enjoy is looking, and sometimes riding, crazy motorcycles like these. This is Main Street Sturgis, and in seconds of walking it, I stumbled onto this painting booth. Part of the appeal of Sturgis is seeing something you typically don't see anywhere else, although there are other bike rallies. Sturgis is the one closest to me. Main Street has a lot of bars, tattoo parlors, and shops filled with t-shirts, knives, patches, helmets, and other riding gear. There are, of course, motorcycle dealers. The last time I was here, I demoed a Boss Haas with a 383 cubic inch V8. Now that's a stump-pulling tractor of a motorcycle, and it has only 2 gears. So after grabbing a soda, a new helmet, some jerky, and a few fun photos with some very pleasant people, I went back to my campground in the dark. It had been a full day. The next morning, I got up to a beautiful sunrise, packed up the wing, and rode home. Here we are in South Dakota, about to go into Wyoming. Just thought I'd give you a look around before I attach it to the bike. And I was in the shower by 2 p.m. Sturgis is only 6 hours away from me. Well, thanks for viewing my 2021 Sturgis memoir. Remember to firm up your suspension and keep your chin up in the curves of the road and in the curves of your life.